Okay, welcome everybody. This is the IOTA Shimmer Community Discord. This is the governance call on Thursday, the 23rd of March. We are again in a very happy mood because we are nearing the completion of one of our biggest milestones as community governance group here. Since 1 hour and 5 minutes, the votes are counted in the notes and accumulated. And so basically, the only thing that you have to do as a voter now is to hold your vote for another 7 days until we have the final results of our 4 governance proposals that have been moved through our governance process the last couple of months and have finally arrived in your wallet so that you can make your own decision and decide on the future of these proposals. My plan for today would be to go through the voting feature in Firefly again, because I got a couple of DMs from people and got some feedback. Many people really like it, but some found it a bit confusing and would like to have another, let's say, walkthrough to make sure that they know and understand how it works and they figure out how all the features work. Yeah, I mean, we released also yesterday a blog post again to ensure that everybody can read up and all the technical features of the voting are explained in this blog post. But as some people don't have the time or don't like to read so many text, I thought, okay, make a walkthrough on video here and record it, and then we can share it around and people can watch and have it maybe easier to get along in the Firefly wallet. So let's go to, so I will do something. I will change the screen share here for the people in the call. So you should actually see my Firefly wallet in the share, yeah. But I had last time I had a problem with the recording in Discord here, so I will have to for the recording I will switch my recording source. But I think you guys should all see what I'm doing in Discord in the screen share. If you see a blank or a gray screen or something, just please somebody tell me, and then I'll try to fix it. So I will have to shortly switch input source here. Firefly Excel. Okay, cool. You all still see my cursor in the Firefly wallet, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's walk through this whole thing. So when I enter one of my profiles, I just did this quick today. And important is for you that you have updated your Shimmer Firefly wallet to the latest version, which is the version number 2.1.0. You should actually see it here. You can check which version you are on. Yeah, here in the top in the burger menu, you have About Firefly Shimmer, and you see version 2.1.0. This is the latest one, and this is the one that you get to download from the Firefly website. You will be forwarded to GitHub, and in GitHub you basically have to scroll down and select the file that is editable for your operating system. If you are a Windows user, just use the firefly.exe file and download it and install it. So you have your wallet here, and what you may recognize is that we have 2 new sidebar items here. One is collectibles, which will be displaying all NFTs that you hold in your wallet on the Tangle, and you can use it to send NFTs and receive NFTs and all kind of cool stuff based on NFTs. And the second feature, which we are caring about today, is the governance tab. So this is the governance overview, kind of governance dashboard that your wallet displays you. What do you see here? So you start in the top left corner, you have voting power in Shimmer tokens. You see currently I have 0 Shimmer voting power, but my wallet tells me that I have a maximum voting power of 1,500 Shimmer. This is the amount of Shimmer tokens that I hold in this wallet, in this profile, basically in this wallet now. What else? You have some details here that says total proposals 4. This is the amount of proposals that are known to the Firefly wallet. You see active proposals. All 4 of these proposals are active, means that they are in either the announcement, in the pre-vote, or in the counting phase. And your wallet will tell you how many proposals you have voted on and which you are currently voting on. You also have a feature here to add a proposal. That's the interesting new part. So if you, as a community or just as a person, want to ask the Shimmer token holders something, you can add a custom proposal here with this button. You input the node URL where you have uploaded this proposal and the event ID, and then you can have this also displayed and use it to vote in your Firefly wallet. But that's basically not important for today. Today we have 4 important proposals that have been going through the Shimmer Community Governance process over the last more than 5 months. They have been going through discussions in our forum. They had a poll vote in our forum, and they finally made it into your Firefly wallet so that you are able today to decide the final outcome of those proposals and if you like to accept them or if you'd like to reject them and which candidates you'd like to choose. If you want to start to vote on one of these proposals, the first thing that you have to do is you have to manage your voting power. Because currently you see I'm still having 0, and I use the manage voting power function to define how many of the tokens that I hold in this wallet I want to use for governance. You can use the slider here and say, okay, I want to use all the tokens that I want. You can use only 900 or whatever. You can also just type it in and say, okay, I want to use 1,000 Shimmer tokens and keep 500 Shimmer tokens on the side for whatever, later or now. Or you want to send them away, or you want to buy an NFT and tomorrow or later, then just use the tokens that you know you don't need over the next 7 days. I confirm this. I put in my password. And Firefly works a little bit in the background. What Firefly is basically doing now is it's putting this 1,000 Shimmer tokens to a different output under the same address where they have been allocated before. Yeah, so maybe you know Shimmer works with the UTXO model. So every address can have different UTXO outputs where tokens reside. And so what the wallet has done now, it has put this 1,000 Shimmer tokens on what we call the voting or the governance output. And it will only use this 1,000 Shimmer tokens for governance. And the other 500 Shimmer tokens that are still in my wallet, I can use for all kind of other stuff. Okay, so I got my 1,000 Shimmer tokens. Now I would like to vote. If you click on a proposal, you see the proposal is currently in the counting phase. The counting phase means that if you issue a vote now, the voting power that you use will accumulate over time to reach the maximum amount of votes possible. This means that every 5 seconds, because every 5 seconds a milestone arrives, your tokens and your voting power that you use will be added to the count for your address in the network, and so you will build up over time more and more votes derived from your token balance and from the voting power that you have used. What else do you see? This is the name of the proposal. This is the official SGP 0001 Shimmer Community Grant Committee lead selection. And you have a clickable link here. Yeah, so if you want to inform yourself about this proposal and you really want to know what it's all about, click on the link. The link will bring you to the IOTA Governance Forum, where you can read the full text of this proposal and get all the information that are important to make an educated decision on this proposal. Yeah, so please always, before you vote, inform yourself to make sure that you know what you're doing. What else? You see how many votes are counted for you. Currently, nothing. And your voting power, 1,000 Shimmer. You see when the counting ends, that's March 30th, that's in 7 days. The event ID and the node to which I'm connected. On the right side, you see the question of the node of this proposal. Yeah, so this proposal contains the question, which of these listed candidates should be the lead of the Shimmer Community Treasury Grant Committee? You have actually 3 options, and fourth, abstain basically means that you are not participating in the counting of this proposal. Yeah? So that's basically, if you click abstain or you don't click at all, doesn't make a difference for the counting. And you see the current count of how many votes have been casted already for these 4 options, or for the 3 options, and have been accumulated. And if I want to vote now, let's say, okay, I want to vote for candidate number 3, Zilan Aslan. I click on this one, I click on vote. I have to confirm that I'm using 1,000 Shimmer voting power to vote for this candidate, for this option. I confirm it with my password, and here we go. What happens now is a transaction will be issued that sends these 1,000 Shimmer tokens to myself, to the same address where they have been before. And in the metadata of this transaction, the Firefly wallet writes, okay, this address has voted with 1,000 Shimmer tokens or 1,000 voting power for option number 3, Zilan Aslan, in the proposal SGGP 001. What you see now is that this is blinking. This means it has confirmed that I'm voting now for this option. You see the others don't blink, so this is the only option that I have been voted. And in this vote, you can only choose one candidate in this answer. Yeah? So every question, you can always only vote for one option of what is showing to you. Okay, this was the first proposal. Let's get along. What you also see now, you see this little icon here means I have already voted on this proposal. So this is the one that I've already done. Next one, similar thing. Yeah. You have the name of the proposal, you have a link. If you click on it, you come to the full proposal in the governance forum. You see the data of the proposal and you see the current votes, and you can cast your vote to the option that you would like. Then takes a couple of seconds, vote successfully casted. There we go. Yeah. Wait until this is finished, but basically as soon as you see the confirmation message, you can be sure. Alrighty. Yeah, it blinks and there we go. So you are currently voting on 2 proposals and you see them here. One thing I wanted to show you is that we have this proposal. This is SGP 0002. This is the Community Grant Committee grant reviewer selection. And this is a little bit special because instead of having just one question in the proposal, this proposal has 10 different questions. And the reason for this is that we have 10 candidates that would like to become a grant reviewer in the Treasury Committee. but we only have 4 seats for them to be filled. And to make this vote possible, because we didn't want to have a vote where you have basically 10 candidates in one question, but you can only give your votes and your tokens to one candidate. We said, okay, let's do 10 different questions for every candidate, a single one. And so this makes it possible that you can decide how many of those candidates you want to support with your vote. So I can vote on every of those 10 questions if you scroll down. So basically, I could now do, if I vote yes on all these questions, I would give every candidate my full 1,000 Shimmer voting power. But of course, you can also say, okay, I like 2 or 3 of these candidates and the others I don't know. I have no idea what they want to do. So you can only vote for 2 or for 3 candidates with your 1,000 Shimmer tokens. Also here, you see, yeah, so the first question you see for candidate Linus, currently the 92% of the voters have voted yes for him. If you click on question 2, you see that 88% of the voters have voted yes for Garrett. Question 3, the same, yeah, so you can click through this and you see how many people have already voted. Sometimes you see Firefly loses a little bit the connection. And so if you want to vote, again, the same here, you click on vote. What the Firefly wallet is telling you now is that you are abstaining from answering 9 questions. Because I currently have only casted a vote for question 1 and I haven't voted for all of the others. You can continue to do this. It's no problem that you only cast your vote for one of the candidates. Or you can say, yeah, okay, maybe I choose another one. Okay, let's go down here and say Umayyah. Umayyah, I know he's a good lad. He was part of the Firefly team a couple of years ago. Okay, I also vote yes for Umayyah. And then there is C330. I also like him. And okay, I vote for him. So what happens now is that I would vote for 3 candidates and I'm abstaining from answering 7 questions. Yeah? So you are completely free to do this on your own. Also, like I said, you don't need to click abstain. You can click abstain, but the wallet will automatically, if you don't vote on a candidate or on a question, it will automatically count it as abstain. You see, I clicked abstain on 2 questions, but still the wallet knows, okay, these are 7 questions in total that you are not voting. And then I vote. Again, need my passport. And now, again, a transaction will be issued that does the same. It says, okay, this address has voted with 1,000 Shimmer tokens for these 3 candidates. If you're using a ledger, all of this is basically working the same way. In Ledger, remember that you have to confirm that you're using the developer mode. And if you have never done it before with Ledger, what Ledger will ask you is to confirm to do blind signing. You don't have to be scared about something like this. Blind signing is nothing special. It's just a function of Ledger that is not that's not by default activated. And in Ledger, basically, it's only 2 clicks. You go into the settings, you confirm blind signing, and then you can participate in all these votes with your ledger the same way you do it in a normal or in a non-ledger Firefly profile. All right, so you see I have voted on 3 proposals. If I go in this one, we should actually see, okay, here, look at that. You know, I had 1,000 Shimmer voting power, but you see currently the count goes up. This is every 5 seconds, more voting power will be added from my tokens to the option that I have chosen. Yeah, so currently 38,000 Shimmer tokens voting power have been generated already from my vote that I did 5 minutes ago, and this will continue to grow over the next 7 days. Okay, what else can you do? let's say, okay, you have decided you don't want to buy an NFT in an hour, so you have now still another 500 Shimmer tokens lying around that you don't use in the next days or weeks. And so what you can do is you can just add those 500 Shimmer tokens to the votes that you are already doing. You go to Manage Voting Power, and you can use the slider, or again, just tip it in here. I use the slider now, and you can increase your voting power about the Shimmer tokens that you have still left and unused. You confirm, again, password. What happens? It will now allocate this additional 500 Shimmer tokens to the governance output that you have created in the beginning. And very likely it will ask me to revote. Yeah, so this means it shortly has stopped my current voting, added the 500 Shimmer tokens to the voting output, and now if I click revote, and you see it here, Firefly remembers all the proposals and answer options you previously voted for. I click revote, means now Firefly is issuing a new vote for all the 3 proposals, for all the candidates and options that I've chosen before, but it's using now 1,500 Shimmer tokens instead of using only 1,000 Shimmer tokens as it has used before. Of course, the 38,000 Shimmer tokens that have been created, or have been votes that have been counted already before, they still stay valid. Nothing changes in this count. It was maybe only an interruption of 10 seconds where my vote was not present in the ledger. But now I'm back and I'm adding more votes now because I'm using more tokens. Okay, what else can I do? I can stop voting. If I say, okay, I'm not sure, I changed my mind, I don't want to vote on this proposal, on this question, I use the stop voting. It also warns you that if you stop to vote now, it won't impact any votes that you have already been counted. So basically, this 127,500 votes from Shimmer tokens, you can't remove them. You can only stop to add more votes to your account or to your address. But of course, the votes that have already happened, they will stay in the network and you can't remove them. Righty, again, makes a new transaction now, basically voting only for 2 proposals instead of 3 with the 1,500 Shimmer tokens that you have allocated. Should see it now. Soon it will stop to blink. Bang. Yeah, so finished. 142,500 votes from Shimmer have been created by you for this proposal, but that's it. And you will see that you are now only voting for 2 proposals, unchanged, and the one that we've stopped is removed. Here you see proposals you voted on, in total 3. Currently you're voting on only 2. A little tip maybe, if you are not sure if you receive an NFT or you want to create a native asset or something in the next days, what you can do, you don't need to use your full voting power. Maybe you know, okay, storage deposit, you will need maybe half a Shimmer here and half a Shimmer there. No problem. You use only 1,498. So you keep 2 Shimmer tokens on the side that you can use for storage deposit, for transactions over the next 7 days, and that's it. If you would use your whole Shimmer tokens and your whole balance, and you would like to create a token, or you are receiving an NFT and you would need to claim it, what Firefly will tell you is that you don't have enough available balance to claim that NFT. And this is because you would currently use your whole balance for governance. Then you go here, you use the manage voting power, you reduce a couple, yeah, like I said, 1 or 2 Shimmer tokens usually is absolutely enough to receive an NFT or something. You revote, and then you can claim your NFT, or you can claim the token that you have received in your wallet. Alrighty, basically, I think that's it. Did I forget any feature, anything? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so that's all. That's the magic. Like I said, you can see always the live results of the vote in your Firefly wallet. Just go there and you see this is the current count in the network and the current standing for every proposal. Make sure that when you go into the question 2, and you see there are several questions, always unfold them. Yeah, just click on them and then you see both options. Scroll down to see everything, and basically that's it. Here we go. That's what I wanted to tell you. I hope that was clear and easy to understand for everybody. So it's a really, really nice system. And like I said, your tokens, even if the wallet says you are locking your tokens, it's not really hard locked because you can always get any amount of tokens that you want back from governance. Just use the slide. You want to buy an NFT for 1,000 Shimmer, no problem. Just take it from the governance and you can have it as available balance then in your wallet to send it around and buy stuff with it, whatever you need. Yeah. Another thing, if you have several wallets under one profile, you will have to do this with every wallet separately. Yeah. So in this case here, I'm only having one wallet, but if I want to add a second wallet, okay, call it 2, bang, I create a second wallet. I send, yeah, so available wallets, you see 1,200. This is the one that I freed from governance. I send 500 Shimmer tokens to wallet 2, and now you will see once they arrived is that I can have to do the same procedure again with wallet 2 if I want to use these 500 Shimmer tokens. Go there, arriving soon. There we are. So the 500 Shimmer tokens, same procedure. I go to governance, I manage voting power, I use the 500 Shimmer token and move it to the governance output. And then I can use it to vote on these proposals with the 500 Shimmer tokens in wallet 2. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. All right, I think that's it for my little walkthrough. So I switch back to Discord.
And Philo, did we? Sorry, I was doing
Yeah.
a few other things on the side, but did we mention that again, anyone can vote? Let's say 3 days into the vote, it's counting those milestones and adding those votes up, and then you could actually go and switch your votes, but then those milestones from that 3 days to the 7 days will count up and vote for that other choice. So it's like an ongoing 7 day process that you can essentially cast votes differently or wherever. Yes, darling.
automatically unlock at the end of the voting?
Did we lose Philo's voice? Or am I just missing him?
Yeah, Philo, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think somehow he got muted. If I heard that right, Ben, was that like at the end, does it automatically unlock? I think I saw Philo post in Twitter that it does not automatically unlock. So we'll just have to go in and unlock those.
Yeah, that was a point of clarity. I thought it was like staking, and I entered that wrong, so I corrected it. I guess wanted to clear up.
Okay. Hopefully, let's see, maybe we'll message him. All right.
Hello, hello.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
I'm back. I'm somehow, I don't know what happened. I lost the voice somehow. Yeah,
No worries.
basically, it will not, like Ben's question, it will not remove the tokens from the governance output automatically once a vote is finished. Yeah. So you will have always need manually to remove the voting power to get these tokens back into action. Yeah. That's different
Got
than
it.
staking.
All right, somebody asked me that, and I actually said the opposite, so I corrected myself.
Yes, no problem. Yeah, no problem. People will recognize it. Yeah, as soon as your token, as your wallet says, okay, hey, I have 100,000 Shimmer there, but it says no balance available. Check your governance stuff because the tokens very likely are either still in the governance output waiting to vote for the next one, or they are locked in storage deposit or in a time lock or all kind of these new features that we have in the network. But yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, what else? Like I said, I'm very, very happy. Everything works. That's the first thing to be happy. Yeah. So the rigid Firefly testing has shown and proved that it was useful. And even if it took a little bit longer, but I think I've heard a lot of great feedback. Some very, very small meh sounds about things that I mean, you can always improve such a system to make it even more usable and nicer and UI friendly and whatever. So we're sure we're going to take some of this input for the next version to make it even more flawless and easy to understand. But yeah, everything seems to work very great. The community just needs to vote. I mean, participation is picking up today. We saw it very much. I think we gained over 2.5% participation today from this morning on. So people basically waited for the Thursday to happen because, I mean, it didn't make much sense to vote on Monday already if you know you have time on Thursday to vote. So I'm pretty sure during the day when people come home from their work in Europe and everywhere, and now the people wake up in the US, we will see participation growing. More people will start to vote, and so we get even clearer and better results on those proposals. The future, JD hinted it already. So what is the plan? Let's assume for the two proposals that things stay around where they are in the moment. Yeah, somehow over 90% of the voters decide to set up the Shimmer Community Treasury and set up the Shimmer Growth Committee. The good thing is we are very well prepared to get into action. Thanks to the great work of this group in advance over the last couple of weeks. For the community treasury, this means that basically next week we could start to set it up under the temporary umbrella of the Tangle Ecosystem Association, yeah, and send in the documents to Marshall Island and to Marshall Island DAO, the MiDAO, the entity. First of all, of course they want to have some money. So the first thing is that once this thing is voted on, tokens will be free to use for this purpose. So the elected candidates will need to set up a multisig wallet on Binance Chain. This is what we agreed on in the beginning until we have the
Gnosis IOTA wallet.
until we have Gnosis in Shimmer. And then the Shimmer tokens, the budget for the community treasury will be moved out of the current community treasury to a separate wallet, separate address. Some tokens will be sold OTC, and the community treasury in the Gnosis wallet will receive a budget of 100K US dollar to start setting up process and everything. This means there will go $9,500 to the Marshall Island government and entity to set up the DAO. And I think currently we are in around $2,000 costs for the lawyer that helped creating all those documents. So this stuff will be paid. And then basically what can happen is that the community treasury could start to organize themselves and open their applications for grant applications. And I think, in the beginning, it will take some time until the reviewers get along and everybody has basically figured out how things work and all this stuff. But basically, theoretically, the Treasury will be operational and will be able to receive grant proposals and work on those grant proposals and figure out if stuff is eligible to get funded from there on. Growth Committee, the other proposal, will be similar, potentially even easier, because there also this whole thing will stay under the TEA. So contracts are ready. The 3 community members will be able to get together with Christian Sauer and myself, and we will form a really nice committee, introduce and define our tasks and our purposes, and start to talk about how we want to grow Shimmer and grow our ecosystem and support this whole thing to make it really a big success. That's the whole thing of the growth committee. Likely also next week we will have like a constitutional meeting, set up everything, talk through with everybody, and then we're ready to go to make some major decisions for the network. And then for the community treasury, it all depends then on the process in the Marshall Islands, how fast the government will be in accepting the operation agreement that was drafted. The operation agreement, we received some good feedback from the community here. Also we have Node Runner, he's a lawyer in Switzerland. He mentioned something. We forwarded this to the lawyer that works for us, to Paolo, and we implemented a couple of those things into the draft for the operation agreement. Also, we had another review from Mariana. She's great. She's really knowledgeable in all these regulatory things. So she also had a couple of very good suggestions for the operation agreement. And basically, I think this whole thing will be ready to send out to the government next week. And then it really depends. I think they said 4 to 6 weeks or something like this, or let's call it 8 weeks in the end, until we would receive a certificate and a license to operate as a DAO LLC under the legislation of the Marshall Islands. And once this license is permitted to the Shimmer, no, not the Shimmer, to the Tangle Community Treasury DAO, the committee will move away from the Swiss entity, from Tangle ecosystem, and operate completely independently of anything under the law and the statutes of the Marshall Island and under the regulations that we have created in the last couple of months and that are part of this proposal, how they operate, and everything is basically specified there. So these are the next steps if the vote runs as successful as it seems. Yeah. Does anybody have any question on this whole thing?
Just add in there. I mean, just also give, once the vote's completed, the reviewers will need to choose a co-lead as per the framework. So that will probably be done right away. And then, if we're going to use the website, which will allow applications to kind of happen on day one, then they'll need to provide an email because they'll get automated updates when they get assigned a proposal. So it'll be a little stuff to do to just kind of administrative wise right in the beginning, and then we'll be rocking and rolling after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think also this will take a couple of days. I mean, also everybody still has a side job, so I don't expect to have everybody available every day, which would be cool. I mean, if everybody would just take next week off, but don't expect this to happen. So it will take a couple of days to get everybody aligned over different time zones, set up internal communication for this whole thing. And then basically also, I think people will have to there will be a lot of questions from the grant reviewers, how the whole system is really intended to work. There will be some trial period, I would also say. Maybe we can submit a couple of test proposals or things like this before the first live one gets touched on. And I also think that in the beginning, if there's a little bit more complicated proposal coming in, very likely the team will kind of work together to all get a good feeling and get a good touch how they would all operate this together. But this is then all in the hands of the committee. They will define their own internal processes based on the framework and see what works best. That's basically the thing. Oh, we have a comment in the chat here. Okay, no, this was old. Okay. Yeah, so
the other thing too, appreciate everyone actively voting in the governance and on Twitter and for the change of name. So seems like Tangle Community Treasury won out, had majority. We included basically every single option that the community came up with. And so also secured the URL, updated the website to tangletreasury.org, which we discussed last week, if the majority went that way. So we have that in place and already updated. And then, it was pretty good just to get the community active. I think we had a decent amount of voting on Twitter, at least. That was good. And then a strong vote in the governance. So that was good.
Yeah. I just saw Emu's question here for the German translation. Wieder abstimmen. Sorry for that's a German thing now. Wieder abstimmen is kind of correct, but it's like I agree, it's not the best German word you could have used. Yeah. Basically, it is new vote or it's not really new because it actually really it does the same thing that you have done before. So in this case, I think vote again, which would be the translation for the English guys, fits a bit better than vote new. Um, yeah, that's like I said, the translation is always a little bit difficult, but in the end, it does the same thing. Yeah. So if you vote, actually, I think vote again, like wieder abstimmen, is the better translation than new voting, because new voting would mean that there's like kind of erase of what was before and things like this. So yeah, it's we can work on find a better wording here, but yeah. But thanks for the hint. I haven't really gone through the German translation or the different translations yet, but I personally think it's not kind of a problematic thing. It says what it should do. Yeah. Good. What else? Then an outlook maybe. Yesterday I had a day off and a day without internet, and what I basically did is I was at sit down myself, reconnected from internet, and so non-disturbed, and I made a very 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 long list of all kind of things that I think we have to achieve in the next 6 to 12 months in the topic of governance in both of our networks. And I was very, very surprised how massively huge the things are that we have ahead of us. I'll probably write this up a little bit and publish something in the next couple of days so that you all maybe become aware of the scope of things that are to do in governance. Just the thing is like we will have to start working on the IOTA treasury, my friends. There are 50 TI of IOTA tokens lying around, abandoned, and the one or other day, smart contracts and the Stardust ledger will move to IOTA, and then we need to be ready to use those 50 TI tokens in the purpose that the community has decided, basically in a DAO to support the ecosystem. So this is a thing that we have to start pretty soonish. We have to look into and very likely implement smart contract features in Shimmer governance. Yeah, so once the EVM is live, people will move their tokens into the EVM, yeah, so into layer 2. We can't expect them always to move tokens out of the EVM back into the Firefly wallet to vote. Yeah, so voting on layer 2 in the EVM will become a topic for us. I have already. That's like, it's not really complex, but it's just something that we have to first implement technically. And then we have to also implement these things into our governance framework, because currently the governance framework doesn't know and doesn't speak and doesn't recognize anything happening in the EVM or in any other smart contract chain. So there's a lot of things going on and need to be implemented. We need to implement a governance contract, a governed contract on the EVM that holds the rest of the big rest of the community treasury, because now there will be only 15% of what the community holds will go into the budget of the committee. Another big chunk will go into the budget of the growth committee, but there are still 35% or 3.5% of the supply in the hands of the community that need to be held in a smart contract. So that's the next important big thing that we basically fork either Compound Governor or the Open Zeppelin Governor and start testing how we can hold such a big amount of tokens in a smart contract controlled by the community, controlled through voting. So there's a lot of things to do, a lot of cool stuff happening, especially on the technical side in the next couple of months for us here. So stay tuned, everybody. As I said, every help is needed and every help is important from the community on this side. Luckily, we have a treasury now that could incentivize people to do some work, especially developer teams, to build up some applications and support the community treasury group or the governance group in implementing those governance features. So there's a huge list of things to do to make our governance better and easier and more community driven. So it's going to get really interesting. Also, the people here now, they will be very busy with their treasury work. Yeah, so we can't expect the voted in candidates to be always present for all the other governance things that we have to do here. So, as I said, everybody is super welcome to get involved in all these governance things. We need every single one of you for opinions, for whatever. You don't need to be a dev, you just need to be an engaged community member that has fun in figuring out how we going to govern ourselves completely one day. And that would be my outlook for the next couple of months. A lot of cool things to do, implementing a lot of tooling, analytics, voting systems, voting features, build the IOTA treasury. There's like a ton of stuff to do.
And I think that kind of leads into maybe after the vote, if everything is positive as it's going, we could maybe try to clean up some of the governance channels now that we'll be official, and we can separate out like a treasury channel and then start having a channel focused on just the governance, because I think that is going to be a lot of stuff to come up with.
From the Discord thing, I even think about opening more of these forums, which is I really start to like them. What we have for the Firefly support, it's much better than using threads, what we have tried before, which is kind of really annoying. But these forum is a really nice feature of Discord. Definitely going to reorganize things, give the treasury its own place there, its own home, and remove some of the old stuff that we're not really active there anymore. I always try to streamline the Discord, but it never works. It only grows.
Nice.
Yes.
Question: if we do the layer 2 voting, would we still be able, like, let's say people have tokens in layer 1, would they still be able to vote, or does it have to be like
Absolutely.
a one or the other? Maybe
no.
Okay.
No, we have to. Of course, we have to implement both. Yeah. So if you look in the ledger, we're going to have what do we have? 1.8 billion Shimmer tokens. So let's say a billion of them are on layer 1, but 800 millions of them are sitting in the EVM. Yeah. So you will have to, of course, develop a accounting system that counts both tokens the same way, with the same weight, with the same timing, so that in the end, it doesn't matter if you cast your vote in the Firefly wallet or if you cast your vote in MetaMask with Snapshot or whatever. All of this has to come together for one result, for one vote. Yeah? So there's some. I don't think it's going to be super complex, but it needs to be merged together so that people don't need to decide to move their tokens from layer 2 to layer 1 or force them to move them into the EVM to vote or things like this. I want this thing to be as flexible and open as possible. And so it shouldn't matter where your tokens currently are, if they're in the EVM or if you have them in your Firefly wallet or in your ledger or whatever. You just will be able to vote on all proposals basically the same way or with the same principles. And yeah, this is something we need to look into and implement and start testing pretty soon.
Nice.
Yep. Alrighty, my friends. If there are no further questions, doesn't seem to be, then I'd say thank you all. Let's let's spam some emojis. Get the word out. Get the community to vote. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is all proposals have passed the 5% participation barrier. So meaning that if everything stays as it is in the beginning, all votes and all proposals allegedly have received enough participation to be a legit vote. Of course, if people would stop to vote, we would have a problem. So the more the mirror, yeah, get more people, get more tokens into the vote, yeah, spread the word in Twitter and Telegram and wherever you are. Even wherever, even if people, I mean, if they are just want to support the ecosystem a little bit, I think the choices are very clear and simple. What would be the best thing to vote? I mean, the candidates, I'm sure everybody has their own opinions, but I mean, you see it now. We have 98% support for the growth committee and for the grant committee. This is a very, very, very strong signal from the people that care, because these are the people that are daily active in our ecosystem. And they are sending a strong signal in the moment what they want to happen. Yeah? So spread the word, get more people involved, and we will all be fine. All right, everybody. I say thank you and see you next week, Thursday, 3 p.m. European time, 3 p.m. German time for the next governance call. Thanks a lot and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Philo.